This is Warzone Jones, and I want to take time to give my thoughts on a topic that I've been hearing at least all week. A topic between CM Punk and Chris Brown. CM Punk and Chris Brown. A feud. A Twitter feud. The WWE has promoted this. You know, people on the internet are talking about this, thus they're basically promoting it. I've been hearing about it, so I figured I'd give my thoughts about it. You know, I've done my research. I'm hearing things. Apparently, from what I hear, Chris Brown is the guy who started this whole situation. Now, I could be wrong about that. So if I am, let me know. But from what I hear, Chris Brown started it. He goes on Twitter, CM Punk's Twitter, and he says that CM Punk takes, well, basically steroids. He accused the man for taking steroids. And here's a guy like Chris Brown. Now here's a guy who he actually has a couple of songs that I like. You know, Chris Brown has a couple of jams that I like. I'm not necessarily a big fan of his, but he does have a couple of jams that I like. Chris Brown, here's a guy who beat the living hell out of his girlfriend. He beat the hell out of his fine ass girlfriend. Brianna is fine. He beat the hell out of her. I mean, like, he just beat the shit out of this girl. Excuse my language, but he literally beat the living daylights out of this woman. Like, you know, that's not a man. Like, like, beat the living hell out of her. Basically, you know, got pissed all over and he beat the living hell out of her. And all he did was do community service. That's all he did, you know. And CM Punk talked about it. He talked about, well, he did a video response. He talked about, well, all you did was community service. You wasn't the crime. The punishment didn't fit the crime. Is basically what CM Punk had said. And CM Punk said, well, I challenge you into a fight. He basically said he'll challenge Chris Brown into a fight and that he would choke him out. So I'm just gonna guess that he's talking about a little mixed martial arts fight. And you know, I can see something like that quite possibly happen. You know, this probably would have been good for WrestleMania had they done this at the right time. Had this happened at the right exact time, like 3 months ago, maybe 2 months ago, a month ago, maybe, they could have had a little match at WrestleMania. And I think there are a bunch of people outside of wrestling who probably would have actually bought that match. But that didn't happen that way, unfortunately. But you see, I want to say this. I wonder, does Chris Brown actually think he can whoop CM Punk? Does he actually think he can kick CM Punk's ass? I don't know. Do you think that he can kick CM Punk's ass? I don't think for a second. You know, CM Punk isn't a big guy, but compared to Chris Brown he is. I think Chris Brown probably weigh like 150, 155, 145. You know, CM Punk went on a radio interview. I saw an interview on the YouTube. He was talking about his Twitter war with Chris Brown. And he talked about how he would just love to choke this guy out, love to beat him down. You know, basically love to hurt the guy. In some point in Chris Brown's mind, I'm pretty sure there's a big spot in Chris Brown's mind that he can do every guy in the world like he did Brianna. Well, someone need to wake him up because you can't. And I think CM Punk is the guy that can actually do that. Now, from what I hear, Chris Brown is a guy who just constantly says a bunch of disrespectful things on his Twitter. You know, I hear that. And I'm not a big Twitter. I don't Twitter. I don't mess with Twitter or anything like that. But from what I hear, he's very disrespectful on Twitter. And sometimes I even heard that he even has people who tell him to tweet certain things. But you know, hey, you can't control Chris Brown. I don't think Chris Brown can even control himself. I think CM Punk will whip Chris Brown's ass because Chris Brown is just a singer. And although CM Punk isn't necessarily an actual fighter, but I'm pretty sure if they was to actually meet in a one-on-one physical confrontation, I'm pretty sure CM Punk will make that ass tap out. So, this is Warzone Jones. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. Give me your thoughts. I'm out. Deuces.